Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the thumbs up if you like this video, or hit the subscribe bar to keep up with my content, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video, or otherwise you can look me up on my website, which is www.garethcahoon.co.uk, or on any other social media sites that I'm on. I'm on X, Instagram, Getter, YouTube, TikTok, my website, Truth Social, Threads. So plenty of ways to keep up with my content and keep in touch. On the 9th of Av, Jews gathered at the Western Wall in numbers that hasn't been seen in years. And not only that, but Jews were actually allowed by Israeli police to pray on the Temple Mount. And these videos must have been shown throughout Israel, and Mahmoud Abbas, who needs a rocket up his orifice, wrote a letter to Biden in America telling him, basically saying how wrong this is, that Jews were praying at their most holiest site. You have to remember that the Temple Mount, or the Al-Sharif, or as the Muslims have named it, given it the pseudonym, but its real name is the Holy Temple Mount, where Abram sacrificed Isaac on the foundation stone that's inside the Dome of the Rock. And Ben-Gvir, the Security Secretary of Israel, or he's a minister in the Knesset. He ascended the Temple Mount and said that it was a Jew's right to be able to ascend the Temple Mount and say prayers, because Yahweh Sevaot, the God of heaven's armies, said that this house will be a house of prayer for all nations, not just the Muslim faith, but for all nations could come up to Jerusalem to celebrate the feasts. And give their sacrifices at the temple. And Antony Blinken, who is Biden's right-hand man, put out a statement basically saying that he wanted the status quo kept at the temple. Now, if he really wants to talk about status quo needs to be kept at the temple, then I'll remind him that before the Dome of the Rock was ever even a figment of the Muslims' imagination, the Jews were coming up to the temple to offer sacrifices to Yahweh. And that is the real status quo. But you have places like UNESCO, the United Nations, saying that these are now Palestinian sites. But Yahweh Sebaot, the God of heaven's armies, the Bible tells us, sits in heaven and laughs at them because he knows what the future is. And the future is that there will be a third Jewish temple built on the Temple Mount. There'll be the sacrifice of the red heifer to cleanse the priests. Of course, I as a Christian know that there can only be one sacrifice for sin, and that is Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ the Lord. But this must happen because in the Bible it says that when the Antichrist appears on the scene, he stops the daily sacrifice. So if the daily sacrifice is going to be stopped, that means that it has to be started in the first place to be stopped. But the status quo of the Temple Mount is that Jews have been going up and down to the Temple Mount throughout the 7 feasts of Israel, throughout every Shabbat, every solemn day. They turn to the beating heart of a Jew is the Temple Mount, where when the Muslims pray at the Temple Mount, they turn their backs to it. They treat the Temple Mount as their children's playground to play football. And I just think of what Messiah Yeshua did when he seen them buying and selling and playing and doing trade on the Temple Mount. He overturned the tables of the money changers. And what would he not do with the football that has been kicked about his most holy place? You see, I'm not against Muslims being allowed to pray. I'm not against Muslims being able to go to the Temple Mount. But what I am against is one faith being given priority and the other faith suppressed, especially whenever the one that's being suppressed was the one that was there before the Muslim faith was ever even thought about. Because as we know, Judaism was a faith millennia before the Muslim faith came about, as a way to discredit the Bible and the truths that lie therein. So let's get the status quo back on the Temple Mount. Let it return to be a house of prayer for all nations. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.